Alright, CSS battle time. We have dots. So I could do this with a radial gradient on the body. And that'd be pretty quick. But I wonder if I could do this with... with borders. You know, if this was border dotted and then spread out, and then this could be even border dashed and just make it really big and off the screen, and we could establish it with a font, you know, because I wonder if these are like 1M, 2M, something like that. I don't know. Well, let's see. Let's slide and compare. Let's see how much they are. It's 24, 54. It's like 30 pixels. Which is right around 1M. You know, 16 pixels across, but I don't know. Do I want to try to do borders? The answer is no. Here's why. I'm sure there's a way around it, but my thought was this was the borders of the HTML element. Like that's it has such big negative margin that you only see those two dashes for the border. But then if this is the body and that's the border, you would have, I mean, I'd have to figure out, I couldn't run the other half of it up this way because then it would cover over. Oh no, if it has a transparent background, it's fine. It means setting background twice. I was hoping to set background once, you know, that's why. As it stands on the HTML, I could probably do a box shadow inset and another box shadow inset this way, and then the body could be a radial gradient without a background, or with yeah, a radial gradient. Yeah, but I'd have to make it. I could just margin it down. I don't think I need to margin it down actually. No, I'd have to margin it down no matter what. Well, I have to write two backgrounds. Anyways. No, I don't have to write two backgrounds. I could just write one. Right? Yeah. Okay, let's see if this works. We want to say box shadow, right? And we're using the and selector to just target the HTML element. We're going to say inset, and we're going to do, like, what do we got? What is the distance on this? 30? Okay. So it's going to be I just want the top and bottom to come in. Can I do that with a box shadow inset on just one? I don't know if I can. I don't want to write three box shadows for this, you know? That seems a lot compared to doing a big border dashed. Fact. Shoot. Border dashed with just a radial gradient on the HTML element makes more sense. Let's try it. Let's go big. Solid. No, not solid. I want dashed. Such a habit of writing it. Alright. And then we're going to make it yellow. Right? Okay. And then let's expand our, let's margin it, right? We're going to have 0 on the top and bottom, but like negative 100. All right, good, 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 good. Okay, here's what we're going to do. I want to get this bar to stretch, and I think the way to stretch it is by, whoa. Yeah, okay, so I'll have to do negative 100. Okay. I probably get it. Let's start with pixels and then translate. I went too big. 200 pixels. Okay. 100. And now we can't see it because that's negative 100. Okay. 70. It's not long enough yet, but let's see. There we go. That's longer, right? Almost long enough. Let's say 150, but let's start expanding. 250, 240, 230, 220. It does a jump at that point. 60, 270, 280. Oops, not 2800. Alright, so let's do 0, 70. Just for now, we'll move it up and down. Moving it up and down is actually the easy part. So moving it left and right is hard. 100. Ooh. 0. Oh, wrong one. Trying to just write a positive number here. No. 80. Okay, yeah, we don't want that. 20. 50. I knew I didn't want to do borders. I'm not good at these yet. But this is why I practice. Okay. 200. There's some people who just know what they're doing with this. Okay. So if it's 150 pixels thick, let's give ourselves some more room to work with here. 160, 170, 40. Alright, no matter what. Okay, actually, let's jump this up. There we go. Okay, I gotta give it a lot of room. 40, 50. Okay, so if I give myself a lot more room, it starts to work. Okay. But I think we need this to be 130. Alright, no, 140 about. Let's keep moving this up. 95. Looks like it's like... Okay. So we got that to move. But this gap is not quite big enough. The block... 90... 10. Yeah. Okay, so I can get that right, but how do I increase the spacing in between them? I'm feeling like this isn't the way to go. Alright. It's not the way to go. Because I don't feel like, let's say, make this a lot bigger, right? Or this side. It does kind of work. Okay, let's say 360. Just because I think that's more divisible. And then 410, 420. Okay. Well, I guess I got there in the end. Almost got there. This changes to 130. I'm not playing that game. I'm not chasing this all again. I can translate these into like smaller units, so it's not quite so huge. There's probably a significant figure, like a common denominator, that's less. In fact, I wonder if... Okay. Nope, it can't be the same. Okay. Alright. Okay. So it worked. Alright. And let's write our background. Radial gradient. Q. And we'll just have to size it left to right, I think is all we'll have to do. We're doing this. 15 pixels. Right, it's all yellow now. And then we're going to do blue. And so we have one dot right there because of the margin being wonky. Margin it in. Right. There we go, everything's showing up. Okay. Let's size it. Alright. Position. Don't need that. Sizing needs to be... center to center. I don't know. Let's start with 150. Just see how it's doubling up. Not quite right. Let's shrink it a bit. 40, 50, 60. Okay. Looks like the right spacing. We just need to position it. Alright. 30, 50. Almost there. 60, 70. Nope. 65. Okay. Alright. What a mess. Okay, so I need to convert margin. That margin is massive. The border is also massive. Wonder what units, and it's kind of hard to just translate these into other units without using a tool, just because I won't necessarily know. Like M I can translate into. It's normally 16 pixels. Okay, good enough. I can do that. That's easy math. But like line height or inches or any of those other things, I don't know what the unit of transfer is. Yeah, if I did a solid border and then the radial gradient on both of them, I wouldn't have to do all these funny margin games. And I could probably just position it. The body could be this thing right here with just a lot of right margin, you know? And they could both share the same radial gradient. I'm gonna see. Well, let's hit submit. Let's see if this hits 100, and then I can just go back to this solution if everything falls apart. But I feel like I'm chasing kind of some silly stuff here. So let's change this down to 30, right? We know that that's what that's supposed to be. Get rid of that margin. Okay, good. And do I want border block on it? Otherwise I have to do some negative margin for it. I have to do margin down here no matter what. So block is less than negative margin. Okay. Perfect. Alright. We're not going to worry about the radial gradient yet. I think actually it will transfer up to HTML just by placing it on the body, so I don't have to change that. I'll fix these units in a moment. We need this to be... Actually, yeah, we just need it to be that color. We just need to margin 30 on the top and bottom. We need left and right. Right needs to be like... what is it? It's 135 from 400 gets you 275. So 275. Bottom is going to be 30, up to 0. Okay. Background's radial gradient. It should, okay, I'm going to do something here. I'm going to do 2 pixels solid. Normal debugging. Okay. Okay. So it actually needs 0 on the top and bottom. There we go. Yeah. Now it's the right size. But I need it to be negative 30 on the top and bottom, not 330. And the bottom 30. Okay. Get rid of our border. Good. The background for our body. You saw the border, right? You saw that border. No? Okay, good. There's, 2 pixels. Let's say unset. No? Okay, so I'm trying to make sure, right? So our body has this background on it, this radial gradient. It should be going blue all the way to the top, and I'm not quite understanding why it's not. Why we're still seeing the HTML body. Alright, let's overwrite the background. Okay. The body is not picking up the background. It is picking up the border block. Let's change this to border block. Let's see. Still doesn't override it. That is wild. Do you see the little black line? Let's crank that up. Right? That's our body's size. It's right there on that side like we want it to be. But the background is not going outside of the HTML element. Okay. So there we go. Now the background is going outside of the HTML element. That's the bubbling thing that happens where if you don't... I was trying to use it actually. I wanted the background to go on the HTML element and the body. Let's see if I take that off. It doesn't go on the body, right? I'll just change it. And then I have to overwrite the border because of it. No, I can just up the negative margin. Just hide the border block. It's fine. So, I'm using this selector to just select HTML. If you put a background on the body and none on the HTML element, it bubbles up to the canvas element, right? So what was happening is the background wasn't even applying to the body. It was just applying to those other things, which is weird. It's really weird behavior, and it's just CSS battles, I think, where this happens. It goes up to the canvas element. But if you put a background on the HTML element and then a background on the body, you're good. You're golden. Each one applies. So what I have to do is change this to a star selector. Get rid of the red background. We don't need the border. So it's still there, but if we do -60, there we go, and -60, we're okay. And now we can just position our radial gradient to get our dots lined up. And I bet like 35. Nope. Might even be 0 now. Oh no, did our border block change now? Oh Lord. No. We're okay. We're okay. This just needs to be like 265. Okay. I was a little worried I'd have to. It's border block. It's not the dashed one. It's not the nightmare one. We're okay. Let's go back to 0. No. Okay, the spacing is wrong. That's it. Let's go back to 0. 20. Ooh, 110. No, 130, 140. 130. That seems right. Okay. -10 pixels. 20. Yeah, walking it backwards is... Well, it's an extra character. I'm only going to be in double digits, I think. What? 30? Oh, 25. Okay, so -25. Positive 25 isn't there, but 55, 65, 75, 85, 95. Okay, if I'm in 3 digits. Wait, did I do this wrong? 105, yeah. Alright, -25 ends up being the same number, and not really translatable easily. 105, is that translatable? It's 31% or something. Oh well. I'm not going to play the unit of measurement game. That is much shorter than my previous solution. Cool. Well, that was a fun exploration of backgrounds and how they can mess you up. Yeah. I need to find a good tool. I know David shared one with me, and I think I lost the link somewhere of a tool that is really good at converting units. So you plug in these and say, what else does this equal? And so you can do quick conversions easier that way. But I think I'll leave it. I probably spent enough time on this, chasing this down. 124. That's respectable. I feel like that's a respectable score. So I accept. I explored dashed borders. Don't have to do that again for a while, because this is about learning as well. I mean, you're never going to write code like this for production, but I also like how deep into CSS and how it relates to other things, and how these like gradients and box shadows and borders work. It's nice getting in deep, because you find out all the ways it can break, and also all the ways you can exploit it, which I think is cool. All right. Have a good night. Bye.